Imagine a world locked in ice. Vast glaciers crawl across the land. The air is bitingly cold. This was the Ice Age, and it was home to some amazing creatures. Among the most impressive were the mammoths. Towering over the frozen landscapes, they were giants of their time. Mammoths roamed the earth for millions of years. Their story is a reminder of the power of nature and the impact we have on our planet. Let's journey back in time to meet these incredible animals. We'll explore their lives, from how they lived to why they vanished. Their story is an important one even today. It teaches us about the history of life on Earth, and it reminds us that even the mightiest creatures can disappear. Join me as we uncover the secrets of the majestic mammoths. Mammoths weren't just one type of animal. They were a diverse group of creatures, each adapted to their unique environments. They were a whole family of elephant relatives with various species spread across different regions and time periods. Their story begins in the warm savannas of Africa millions of years ago. These early mammoths roamed the grasslands, thriving in the lush, verdant environment. Over time, they spread across the world, adapting to a variety of climates and landscapes. From the hot plains of Africa to the frigid tundras of the north, mammoths were incredibly versatile. As they moved into colder regions, they evolved to survive the harsh conditions. Their bodies underwent significant changes to cope with the dropping temperatures. They grew thick coats of hair to survive the icy temperatures. This dense fur was essential for insulation, keeping them warm in the freezing climates. One of the most famous mammoths is the woolly mammoth. Known for its iconic appearance, it has captured the imagination of people for generations. These were the ones that braved the frozen north, enduring some of the most extreme weather conditions on Earth. Woolly mammoths had long, shaggy fur and small ears to conserve heat. Their small ears reduced heat loss, a crucial adaptation for survival. They also had enormous curved tusks, longer than any elephant alive today. These tusks were not just for show, they had practical uses too. These tusks were probably used for fighting and clearing snow. They could dig through the snow to find food and were also used in battles with other mammoths. But the woolly mammoth wasn't the only giant around. There were several other species, each with its own unique characteristics. In North America, there was the Columbian mammoth. This species was adapted to a different environment compared to its woolly cousin. This mammoth was even bigger than the woolly mammoth. It was one of the largest mammoth species, towering over the landscape. It lived in warmer areas and didn't have such thick fur. Instead, it had a thinner coat suitable for the milder climates of North America. And then there was the imperial mammoth, the largest of them all. This colossal creature was a true giant among giants. It roamed the American Southwest and was truly a sight to behold. With its massive size and impressive presence, the imperial mammoth was a dominant force in its environment. Today, we learn about these incredible creatures through fossils and archaeological discoveries. Each find adds a piece to the puzzle of their existence. Scientists study their remains to understand how they lived, adapted, and eventually went extinct. The story of the mammoths is a fascinating chapter in the history of life on Earth. While mammoths are no longer with us, their legacy lives on in their modern relatives, the elephants. These majestic creatures continue to roam the earth, reminding us of their ancient cousins. The mammoth's tale is one of adaptation, survival, and eventual extinction. It's a story that continues to captivate and inspire us as we uncover more about these magnificent giants of the past. Imagine a world very different from our own, a world where the landscape is dominated by endless stretches of snow and ice, where the air is crisp and biting and the horizon seems to stretch on forever. This was the world of the mammoths, majestic creatures that roamed these frozen expanses thousands of years ago. They lived in a vast open landscape called the steppe tundra, a unique ecosystem that combined elements of both grasslands and tundra. Imagine huge grasslands stretching as far as the eye can see, interspersed with patches of hardy shrubs and mosses, all blanketed by a layer of snow for much of the year. The ground was frozen solid for most of the year, creating a challenging environment for any creature to survive. Winters were long and harsh, with snow covering the ground for months. The mammoths had to navigate through deep snow and withstand freezing temperatures. Summers were short, but the sun would melt some of the snow, revealing the vegetation beneath and providing a brief respite from the cold. During these brief summers, plants would burst into life, taking advantage of the short growing season to bloom and reproduce. Mammoths were herbivores, which means they only ate plants. They relied on the grasses, shrubs, and other vegetation that grew during the summer months to sustain them. They needed to eat a huge amount every day to survive, consuming hundreds of pounds of vegetation to maintain their massive bodies. Their long tusks were perfect for digging up roots and scraping snow away from grasses, allowing them to access food even in the depths of winter. They would have spent most of their day eating, just like elephants do today. Mammoths were social animals living in close-knit herds that provided protection and companionship. They lived in herds, usually led by a wise older female known as the matriarch. She guided the herd, using her experience to find food and navigate the harsh landscape. These herds would have wandered the steppe tundra, searching for food and water, constantly on the move to find the best grazing areas. Young mammoths would have played together, learning from their elders and developing the skills they needed to survive in this challenging environment. Life in the Ice Age was tough, but mammoths were well suited to their environment. Their thick fur, layer of fat, and large size helped them stay warm and fend off predators. They thrived in a world that humans would have found very difficult. Despite the harsh conditions, mammoths were able to adapt and flourish, leaving behind a legacy that continues to fascinate us today. Section 4. The changing climate. For millions of years, mammoths thrived in their frozen world. But, you know, the Earth's climate is always changing. Around 15,000 years ago, the world began to warm. This wasn't a sudden change, but it happened over thousands of years. As the planet warmed, the vast glaciers started to melt. The icy landscapes that mammoths called home began to disappear. Forests spread where once there was only tundra. The mammoths' food supply dwindled. The open grasslands they relied on for grazing were replaced with trees. Their way of life was under threat. The changing climate was making it harder and harder for mammoths to survive. They were adapted for a world that was no longer there. This changing climate wasn't the only challenge mammoths faced. Another threat was emerging, one that would prove even more dangerous: humans. Section 5. The hunters arrive. As the climate warmed, humans were on the move. They were spreading across the globe, becoming more skilled at hunting. This period marked a significant shift in human behavior and adaptation. The warming climate opened up new territories, and humans, ever the opportunists, ventured into these uncharted lands in search of sustenance and survival. Humans had learned to work together to bring down large animals. This cooperation was not just a matter of survival, but also a testament to the growing complexity of human societies. They developed strategies, communicated effectively, and shared the spoils of their hunts, which strengthened their social bonds and ensured the survival of their communities. They used spears, arrows, and other tools to hunt. These tools were not merely rudimentary. They were the result of innovation and ingenuity. Early humans experimented with different materials and designs, gradually improving their effectiveness. The creation and use of these tools marked a significant leap in human technological advancement, and they had their eyes on the mammoths. These majestic creatures were not just a source of food, but also provided materials for clothing, shelter, and tools. Hunting mammoths required immense skill and bravery, as these animals were formidable opponents. The successful hunt of a mammoth was a cause for celebration and a testament to the hunter's prowess. We don't know exactly how much humans contributed to the extinction of mammoths. The debate continues among scientists, with some arguing that human hunting played a significant role, while others believe that environmental factors were more critical. This uncertainty adds a layer of mystery to the story of the mammoth's disappearance. But we do know that humans hunted them. Archaeological evidence, such as spear points found embedded in mammoth bones, provides clear proof of this interaction. These findings offer a glimpse into the lives of our ancestors and their relationship with these giant creatures. We found evidence of mammoth bones at human campsites. These sites reveal much about the daily lives of early humans, including their diet, social structure, and survival strategies. The presence of mammoth remains indicates that these animals were a crucial part of their existence. Some scientists believe that human hunting combined with the changing climate was too much for the mammoths. The end of the Ice Age brought significant environmental changes, altering the mammoths' habitat and food sources. Coupled with relentless hunting by humans, these factors created a dire situation for the mammoths. Their numbers dwindled as they struggled to find food and avoid human hunters. The changing climate reduced the availability of their preferred vegetation, and the constant threat from human hunters added to their plight. This combination of pressures made it increasingly difficult for mammoth populations to sustain themselves. There are other theories about why mammoths disappeared. Some researchers suggest that a combination of factors, rather than a single cause, led to their extinction. This multifaceted approach considers the complex interplay of environmental, biological, and human influences. Some scientists believe that diseases might have spread among them. Infectious diseases could have had devastating effects on mammoth populations, especially if they were already weakened by other stressors. This theory highlights the vulnerability of large animal populations to epidemics. Others think that a catastrophic event like a meteorite impact might have finished them off. Such an event could have caused sudden and dramatic changes in the environment, leading to the rapid decline of mammoth populations. This theory, while less widely accepted, adds an element of sudden catastrophe to the narrative, but the most likely explanation is a combination of factors: climate change, human hunting, and possibly disease. This multifactorial approach acknowledges the complexity of extinction events and the interplay of various influences. It suggests that no single factor was solely responsible, but rather a convergence of several pressures. It was a perfect storm that led to the extinction of these magnificent creatures. The mammoth story is a poignant reminder of the delicate balance of ecosystems and the profound impact that environmental changes and human activities can have on the natural world. Their legacy lives on in the archaeological record and in our understanding of the past. Section 6. A world without mammoths. Around 10,000 years ago, most mammoths had vanished from the Earth. The last of their kind clung to survival in isolated pockets. The world they knew was gone, replaced by a warmer, wetter climate. With them went a whole ecosystem. The Ice Age was over and a new chapter in Earth's history had begun. The extinction of the mammoths is a powerful reminder of the interconnectedness of life. When one species disappears, it affects the entire ecosystem. The disappearance of mammoths likely had a ripple effect on other plants and animals that shared their environment. It also had a profound impact on humans, who had relied on mammoths for food and resources. Their loss marked a turning point in human history. It forced early humans to adapt to a changing world. They had to find new ways to survive without the mammoths they had relied on for so long.